Hey everyone, it's Shotzi from the Rough Cuts on Sunday. I hope you've had a great week. I'm going to talk about a documentary today that premiered at Sundance. It also played at numerous other festivals, such as South by Southwest here in Texas, Tribeca, like all over the place. This film has been screened and to very much critical acclaim. Audiences loved it, and that is Searching for Sugarman. This is about a Mexican American musician, Rodriguez, who in the 70s he put out two albums and they were met with critical acclaim, but they just kind of fizzled out in the US. And overseas, however, he did very, very well. In fact, in South Africa especially, he was one of the biggest musicians. He was bigger than Elvis. Many compared him to Bob Dylan, thought he was better than Bob Dylan. And it was the first time that most South Africans, especially those in the Afrikaans population, had ever heard the term anti-establishment. And he influenced many people who were first opposing apartheid into creating their movement. So he was very, very influential in South Africa. And over the years, he became huge. Everyone had his album. However, he never knew this. He had no idea. And his family had no idea. He just continued on doing construction work because he couldn't make a living in the US as a musician. He just kind of thought, maybe this isn't going the way that I thought it would, but at least I have these two albums that are me, and they really got out the message that I wanted to get out. And he was okay with that. You know, he had, great support at home, and he was, comfortable with himself and things that he had done. Meanwhile, in South Africa, two of his biggest fans decided they were going to find out what happened to Rodriguez, because he was just kind of cloaked in mystery there. No one knew anything about him. And of course, these are the days before the internet. So he had never done a tour or anything like that. And so they were just like, we're going to find out about this man, especially after there was this article printed that Rodriguez had committed suicide. And so people were devastated because he was such a huge, huge name there. And so these two took it upon themselves to try to figure out how to find out about this man that they so admired. So many people, they started to go through lyrics of his songs to say, okay, wait, we found it. So they're trying to decipher clues through his lyrics as to where they can find out information on him. And that didn't get them really anywhere. But eventually they did come to the US in order to find out where these royalty checks were going. Because he was being played continuously in South Africa all of these decades. So the royalty checks must be going somewhere. So it brought them to the US. They found his family, and none of them had any idea that he was famous. They just knew him, as just this regular guy who worked construction, and they had no idea that he was famous. No one did. And so that sets the tone for this documentary. This is an amazing, amazing piece. It's a great story. Malik Bendjelloul, he actually came across this when he was doing television for Danish television or Swedish television. And he was looking for stories. And so he came across this story and he just thought, that's amazing. Because these two, they're so dedicated to finding out about this man, and they want to know about his suicide. There are all of these stories that he had shot himself in the head. One of them was he'd set himself on fire on stage. They wanted to find out, and their perseverance paid off because all of this was going down. And so Malik Bendjelloul, he decided, okay, I'm going to hop on board with this. And he couldn't get any funding. This was basically done by himself over the course of 4 years, along with one of his people from his crew. And they did awesome. But it really shows that if you believe in something, if you want to stick to something, you can accomplish it. Because when they got to Sundance, they were actually able to find a buyer for this film just before it premiered. And not many people wanted to touch it, just like no one wanted to fund this. You know, he did all of the title cards, all of that himself on his kitchen table. And it's an amazing piece. Do not watch the trailer of this, because the trailer, like so many trailers now, give away the story. Because if you just go into this cold, it'll be so much better. It'll be so much better, because the trailer just kind of blows the mystery of it. So don't watch the trailer. Just take my word on this. It comes out July 27th in limited release. Check it out. Also check out Rodriguez's albums, Cold Fact. And I will see you all next time. Actually, it's funny because when I was watching this, Adam, you know, Adam Stanchek, Unity Freak, or whatever other names he's going by on YouTube these days, our Thursday reviewer, he and I would talk about this sort of thing, and we joke about it, because when I was very active with my anime site years ago, almost all of the people who would go to my site were from Malta. And on YouTube, the majority of the people who watch my channel are from Malta. And so he and I would always joke, like, wouldn't it be funny, like, if we go to, like, a foreign country and we see, like, huge posters of me or something like that, and you find out that you're, like, this huge famous person in this country, you had no idea. And so for me, that was Malta. And then slightly the Isle of Man, because I have a strangely high number of viewers from the Isle of Man. Just kind of odd. I have no idea why. But Malta and the Isle of Man, those are where most of the people watch my videos and would visit my website. And so this, it's just like that. This man he's bigger than Elvis, bigger than the Beatles during the 70s, Rodriguez in South Africa. So it can happen. You never know. But amazing story. Watch it. July 27th, searching for Sugarman. Go see it. And I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye.